It's too easy. I don't have to give those one to Carl Icahn or any of them. I called up the head of government. I said, congratulations, I hear you're moving to Mexico. Yes, Mr. President, we are. I said, well, let me just tell you something, folks. I hope you enjoy your plant. I hope you enjoy the very hot weather. But you're leaving Indiana, and we're going to protect the people of Indiana. You're leaving Indiana. And here's the story for you. Please take it back to your shareholders. Every single time you make an air conditioning unit, you're going to have a major tax to pay when you sell it in the United States. Remember this. Remember this. The only way. You know, our politicians have been working on this problem for 5 years, nothing ever happens, because they don't understand this is the only way. They want to give incentives, that's the incentive. And when they do the new numbers, it doesn't work. And here's what's going to happen. If it were a guy like Lyington, they'll call him up and they'll say, the lobbyists will call the special interests, the local, they'll say, oh, okay, we won't do anything. If it's Hillary, crooked Hillary, if it's Hillary, somebody will call her, one of the special interest groups, and she'll say, oh, okay, we will leave them. If it's me, nobody can call me. Do you know how much money I've turned down? I feel so foolish. I've turned down so much money. I could have had a fortune and run for office. I would have bet, Jeb Bush raised $148 million. You believe that? What a waste of money that was. Man. I would have had 4 times more money in half the time, and I turned it down. In fact, sometimes I feel foolish. My whole life, I'm a business person, so you'll understand this. My whole life I take. As a businessman, I take. I take. I'm greedy, I take. And you know what? Now I'm taking for the American people. That's what I'm going to do. No, we're not going to let this go happen. We're not going to let this stupidity happen. So here's the story. So Carrie's going to say to me, well, we're not going to do it. Good. I'll say good. Very good. Tax. Now here's what happens. Within 24 hours, they will call back. Mr. President, we've decided to stay in Indianapolis. Well, you're going to have a good football team this year, by the way. In Indiana. We're going to stay in Indiana, Mr. President. We've decided to stay. Because let me tell you, when you do what I say, they want to leave, it's fine. But there have to be consequences when they leave. There are no consequences when they fire my 2 friends over there. Raise your hand again. You like the idea of taxing the hell out of those air conditioners? We lose on trade. We have a trade deficit with Mexico of $58 billion a year. And I have these politicians that are on the stage with me saying Mexico will never pay for the wall. The wall is going to cost $10 billion. Believe me, if we're losing that kind of money on trade, and if we want $10 billion, which is a tiny fraction of the money we're talking about, only the worst business person in this room couldn't make a deal. That deal will be made 100%, and it will be a serious wall. It will be a real wall. It will be a lot higher than this sort of low ceiling. If they ever get up to the top of that wall, they're going to look down and they're going to say, oh boy, this is going to be painful. I don't want to go down. And we're going to have the real wall. We're going to take care of those 2 guys and your other 1,300. You understand what I'm going to say, right? We're going to take care. We spread the word to we will get them. And maybe it's not even too late. They ought to do this fast. Let them tell them you're going to pay a damn tax when you leave this country and you think you're going to sell products because we're all so stupid. We have leaders that don't know what they're doing. We have leaders that are stupid people, and we have leaders that are corrupt people. They're controlled by their campaign contributions. And believe me, if I were in office right now, Carrier would not be leaving Indiana. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. So folks, here's the story. This was a stop that was unexpected, and frankly, after 2 days, look at this crowd. But I told my people I want to go to Indiana. Indiana is going to be very important. Because we have a movement going on that's on the cover of Time magazine many times. We have a movement going on that everybody is talking about. We have a movement going on. I did Bill O'Reilly tonight, so you'll watch. I just did him. I did him backstage. I couldn't hear a question because you people were making so damn much noise. I couldn't hear his question. I couldn't hear his question. Well, watch O'Reilly. But you know, last night I was watching O'Reilly, and he was talking about the movement. And he said in his lifetime, think of this is Bill O'Reilly, Fox. He said in his lifetime, he has never seen anything like what he said I've done, but what we've done. He said he's never seen it. He said it's the most important, and think of it. He said, and I'm, pretty much paraphrasing, but pretty much this way. He said it is the single most important event, political event, that he has seen in his lifetime. He said, with the possible exception of the killing of JFK. That's a big statement, okay? That was a big statement. And I'm watching and I'm saying, really? And the truth is, it is a massive thing that's happening in our country. Because we don't want to be the stupid people anymore. We don't want to be the people that haven't had an effective wage increase in 20 years. And we're working longer hours and we're getting older. We don't want to be people that are taken advantage of, both militarily and economically, by every single nation in the world with this free trade stuff. And I believe in free trade, but it's not working for our country. It works for their country. So here's the story. I want you, and I say this sometimes when I'm in the right mood, when I think this is an amazing group of people, to think of the time of day and the whole thing, to have a building this big packed into the corners. Here's the story. Our country doesn't win anymore. We don't win on trade. We don't win with our military. We can't even beat ISIS. We don't win. Can you imagine? Douglas General MacArthur, if you gave him the word to knock out ISIS, it would take him 3 days. General George Patton, who was not a politically correct person, so he could probably never be a general, a colonel, probably couldn't be a sergeant or a corporal. General George Patton, you say, General, knock out ISIS. Yes, sir. 3 days later, where's ISIS? They're gone. Okay? We dropped least, we go over the oil trucks. I said, take the oil. I didn't want to go into Iraq, but when we got out, we shouldn't have gotten out the way we got out. We shouldn't have said the day we're leaving, and we should have left some people behind, and we should have kept the damn oil, okay? Now who has the oil? ISIS has the oil, and essentially Iran is going to have all of it because they're going in as sure as you. For years they fought each other. They were the same military might. So they go here, 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 here. They'd fight for 4 or 5 years, they'd rest. Then they'd start. This went on for a long time. We come in, we obliterate one, and the other's now just walking in. The way we got out of Iraq is disgraceful. The way we got out of Iraq, remember this, is disgraceful. So, what I say is the following. We should have kept the oil, we didn't keep the oil. Right now, when we go over the oil, you know what we do? We drop leaflets to let them know we're going to start bombing. We tell the truck drivers, please evacuate the truck, because in 1 hour we're coming to bomb. No more. They want to drive a truck? Oh, it's going to be a painful drive. So here's the story, folks. You're going to remember this beautiful afternoon in Indiana. And you're going to say you had a good time, but more importantly, in a couple of weeks, when it comes time for Indiana to vote, you're going to go out and vote. And you're going to look back at that vote, and you're going to say that that was the single greatest and most important vote that you've ever cast. Because when you cast that vote, our country is going to start winning again. We're going to win on trade. We're going to win with our military. We're going to win for our vets. We're going to win with Common Core. We're going to knock it out, and we're going to bring education local. You're going to win with health care. We are going to terminate Obamacare and replace it with We're going to have strong, beautiful borders. People come in legally. We're going to have the wall. Everything is going to be a win. And you're going to say, you know what? When I cast that vote for Donald Trump to be president of the United States, and when he won shortly thereafter, our country became great again. We started to win again. And believe me, we're going to win, win, win.